Hi, you're tuning to Ceasefire magazine, and today we're talking to Lindela Figlan from Abahlali baseMjondolo, a South African social movement based in Durban. Lindela, I want to start by asking you a little bit about Abahlali baseMjondolo, what it is you do and why you do it.
Abahlali baseMjondolo is a social movement in South Africa which started in 2005 in September. The reason why we started that movement just because we were sick and tired about the promises from the government, which those promises they don't want to fulfill. And we decided to start our own movement, and that movement, we believe that is where all the people who are living in the shacks, they are going to make a difference in our society. And we also believe that the government in South Africa, they don't respect the people. If maybe the government in South Africa can respect the people, things of like evictions, Ceasefire, whatsoever is happening in South Africa will never happen. But now, as Abahlali baseMjondolo, we decided, like, let us start this movement, and it must be a bottom-up, where the views of the people on the ground must be listened. And the reason why we started it, we were trying to make sure that the government met the people well organized, but it seems as if the government, they don't want even to listen to us.
You said in a recent article that our struggle began with the question of land, and land still remains in the centre of our struggle today. Can you talk a little bit about what you meant by that?
Before 1994, they promised us a lot of things just because before 94, the apartheid government, they confiscated our land. They took our land from our grandfathers and our fathers. Then with the hope that we voted the ANC with the hope that they are going to bring back that land. But that hasn't happened yet. And we are still waiting for that. And the government, when we try to pressurize the government about our land, they say no, the land issue is very dangerous. And the only thing, we must be very patient. And we noticed that the people who have been waiting for their land to come back, then those people, some of them, they passed away, waiting. And also, what we noticed, like in Kennedy Road, we decided to build those shacks. And the reason why we build those shacks is because we are closer to the places where we are working. Then now, we told the government that, yeah, we need that land, that the government must build houses on that land. But it seems as if the government don't want to give that land. And it seems as if the land issue in South Africa is very dangerous. Just because when it comes to the fact that we are talking about land, they can prefer to kill you. I don't know why. And really, it is very sensitive. That is why I wrote that article. The reason I wrote that article, I was trying to aware each and everyone that even if whatsoever is happening in South Africa, but we still need our land to come back to the people.
We've talked a little bit about developments, and I've noticed that Abahlali baseMjondolo don't really work with NGOs. Can you talk a little bit about why that is?
The NGOs really, sometimes there's few NGOs who can work with Abahlali baseMjondolo. Just because Abahlali baseMjondolo, they don't want to be remoted by anyone. We know that our struggle is coming from us and also belong to us. So the only thing with the NGOs in South Africa, there's only one NGO which is working with Abahlali in South Africa. The reason of that is because the NGOs, they want to get more money using the people on the ground. Take, for example, there is another one which we decided to walk out while the donors were there. Just because what they're doing, they just call us when the donors are coming. Then after that, you notice that they are taking photos, doing this and that and that. So they are sending those photos overseas. Then overseas, they are sending money. And these people overseas, they think maybe that thing is real, whereas it's not real. We are not benefiting. Then we said, no, let's kick these NGOs away. And we are going to have only one NGO, which even that NGO is going to listen to us. And the NGOs in South Africa, they want to decide for the people. They don't want to listen to the views of the people. They only want to impose all the time. That is why we don't like NGOs.
The South African government recently supported the boycott, divestment, sanctions movement against the Israeli state. Given that the United States and the European Union is very supportive of the Israeli state, as well as the previous apartheid government in South Africa, do you think this decision is likely to affect the relationship that the South African government has with the United States and other European powers?
All these capitalist countries, like my country, USA, and all these capital countries, what they want to do, they want to make sure that each and everything is on their side. But if it's not on their side, they feel like they don't like it. Let me just put it like that. But I think with South Africa and America having this thing of Palestine and whatsoever, I think maybe the relationship maybe will be a little bit lower, just because the Americans, they don't want anyone to say no. They only want to do whatsoever they want.
A recent article on your website said that roadblocks and protests had restored democracy in South Africa. Can you talk a little bit about the way in which protest is used to engage democracy in South Africa and how you feel democracy is played out in the region?
What I can tell you, in South Africa, we've got a right to march. And that is a democratic right, just because we can march. Notify the police, notify the government that we are marching. Then, in South Africa, our government, they don't know any other language except protest. That is the only language they understand. But if you are not blocking the roads, you are not doing anything, just because there are capitalists who are always driving fancy cars on the road. So if we block them, they are the ones who are going to phone the ministers and tell the ministers that, hey, no, sort this, otherwise, you see, you are in danger. That the reason why we block other people, we want to make sure that there is disturbance. Then after that disturbance, the government is going to take action. Just because there is no other language they understand in South African government. Only protest, burning ties, doing whatsoever.
Abahlali baseMjondolo is a very modern social movement. Can you talk a little bit about the extent to which you guys are able to link with other social movements, both in the region of South Africa and internationally?
We are making sure that internationally we've got friends like mostly Zapatistas and also MST. Yeah, those are the friends of Abahlali baseMjondolo. Secondly, what we are doing in South Africa, we are making sure that other organizations, social movement in South Africa, we are doing an alliance with, like we've got an alliance with Rural Network, Landless People's Movement, and others in Cape Town. We are making sure that those people, they are our alliance. And also, we also formed what is known Poor People's Alliance, where we want to make sure that all those social movements, they are together. But now, we are busy trying to organize, planning the summit, Poor People's Summit, where all the social movement will come together in order to discuss about things which maybe we can do, more especially facing the government, just because it looks like if we are scattered that way, the government is going to kick us far. But if we are united, then we can manage how to kick the government away. But we said that thing must start from the province. Each and every province, just because we've got 9 provinces in South Africa, each and every province, they must have their own summit. Then later we'll call a national summit. Then after that national summit, whatsoever we decided, then after that we are going to make sure that there must be the World Social Summit, whereby all the social movement, the whole world, will come together and discuss how we can fight capitalism throughout the world. That is what we are planning now.
Well, Lindela, thanks very much for talking to Ceasefire magazine today. It's been fantastic to have you on the show.